So during the events of Boruto chapter 63, Boruto was pushed to the edge and he was pretty badly injured. Now out of nowhere, Boruto just randomly disappeared off the screen, and he actually resembles something we saw not too long ago. With his karma activated, an aura started to glow around him, but this time it seems like there is something very different about Boruto. If you've been keeping up with the show, you would obviously come to the conclusion that Momoshiki took over Boruto's body again. But at second glance, Boruto's new form looks slightly different. Now in the past, when Boruto was taken over by Momoshiki, his left eye was closed, a horn would come out from his head, and only Momoshiki's Byakugan was shown. And as Boruto began to regain control of his body, his left eye reopened and he snapped out of it. However, in this case, Boruto actually has both eyes open, and this time, he actually has no horn shown. Now it's very clear that because the Byakugan is present in his right eye, that Momoshiki's presence is there. Now this form in itself looks pretty crazy because I think it opens up the possibility of Boruto being able to surpass his limits once again and be able to use the full extent of Momoshiki's powers. If you remember when Momoshiki fought Boro, he took him out in seconds and was able to inflict a mass amount of damage with ease. Taking a Kara member like Boro down in mere seconds is literally no joke. Boruto's speed and power multiplied, and he was even able to make a giant Rasengan with the help of Naruto's chakra. Now imagine this, Boruto's able to fully be in control of that state and benefits from it fully. This means that this new form would allow Boruto to tap into that strength, and that is some pretty scary stuff. Now at this current point in time, Boruto is currently fighting against Code, the new strongest enemy that he will have to face. And looking at what he did to Boro, I wonder just how much of a fight Boruto's new form will actually put up. I think if Boruto's new form does well against Code, then I think when it comes time to fight Code again in the future, then if he's able to tap into that power, he'll probably be able to overpower Code for the most part, if I'm being honest. But I actually think that this new power up may also have some downsides to it as well, just due to how the karma behaves. When Boruto was possessed the second time during the Ishiki arc, when he began to snap out of it, Momoshiki and Boruto were pretty much fighting for control of his body. Clearly in this picture, due to Boruto's eye being open, it seems that Boruto is mostly in control. However, because of the fact that Momoshiki is inside of him still, I think this could cause some negative effects. Imagine if Momoshiki tries to overpower him and take control of him at times while he's in this form. Example, trying to get him to do something like attack a teammate or whatever. If Boruto is not in complete control of this form, then he has to worry about the possibility of Momoshiki using his body to inflict harm on others. I think this is where we get into scenarios and theories to where Boruto could badly injure someone like Naruto or Sasuke, or even Kawaki. I think in this scenario, the Leaf Village will most likely go towards Boruto since it would be easy to track his chakra signature, and let's just say that other people arrive and Boruto is not able to stay in full control of his form, then this just turns to Momoshiki taking advantage of Boruto and using his body to hurt people. So really that's my major concern with this form, and I can see it being a disadvantage for Boruto if he isn't sure how to control it. I do think that there is one possible way to control Momoshiki's personality, or at least mitigate what he can do, and the answer might be Amado's pills. Now I don't trust those pills either, but they are supposed to technically slow down the karma progression and I guess suppress Momoshiki. In the anime, they actually ran tests on Boruto after taking the pills, and it seemed like they were actually working, so I wonder in the future if Boruto taking the pills will prevent Momoshiki from taking over his body whenever he activates his form, or anything similar to it. That could actually be to why the horn didn't even show this time and Boruto's left eye is open. I like this idea somewhat because it supports the idea that these pills are working and that they are indeed suppressing the karma progression in Momoshiki. However, I don't like it because Boruto will become addicted to these pills and his plug, Amado, could use this as leverage in the future. I don't like that because it leaves Boruto to rely on someone who isn't trustworthy and is playing games with the Leaf. There's a lot of scenarios where Amado holding leverage on Boruto could go wrong if he stops applying him with these Byakugan suppressing pills, but in the case that these pills work and Boruto is able to fully control that form, then I suppose my concern of Momoshiki taking advantage of Boruto will be solved by that. Now I think one other thing that's actually contributing to Boruto having more control of his form could be something that happened a couple of chapters ago. When Boruto started to regain control of his body during the Ishiki fight, he actually snapped off a piece of Momoshiki's horn. Obviously Momoshiki seemed very concerned and was begging him not to do it, and I sort of theorized that breaking this horn might do more damage than we saw on the surface and was just not purely cosmetic. I think breaking that horn in a way broke part of his connection between Momoshiki and Boruto, and if you think about it, when Boruto's horn appeared, it meant one thing. Momoshiki's control on Boruto had strengthened and his karma progression is almost complete. Now, while snapping the horn will not stop Boruto's DNA from changing, the horn still signifies control over the vessel as a way to gauge how far they've come. I really do think that breaking the horn is part of the reason to why Boruto's new Karma Seal form doesn't have a horn and to why Boruto looks like he has more control. So with this new form, I'm very excited to see a Boruto finally be in full control when he's in that Momoshiki-like state. If so, then this puts Boruto leagues ahead of a lot of his peers in the show, and Boruto is really going to be a powerhouse. I do wonder if he would also be able to use the Byakugan too, but I feel like the Byakugan doesn't get much shine anyway, so I'm not sure if he would use it often if he could, but I think having the option to is still cool. Also, I think this next chapter could go 50-50 with Boruto having most of the control over this form, or Momoshiki fighting with him mentally to take control of him. You have to remember, if Momoshiki speaks the code, then that could turn into a whole nother situation because of Code's obsession with Yosusuke. Perhaps Momoshiki could use that to hold some leverage over Code, but I wonder how that could go since Code is technically following Ishiki's missions and Ishiki's orders. But regardless, Boruto having full control of the form without any training will be wild, but in the future I think it could be more likely that he has way more control than he probably would have right now. I think for now he could probably just have control in the beginning, but near the end of the fight, Momoshiki could begin to interfere again and actually put some people in danger. But anyways, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the form and just how strong you think it'll be. And do you think Boruto will be able to have control of this form or Momoshiki interfere again? Anyways, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and join the Discord, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.